Hey guys, and welcome back to the World War II Solitaire board game channel. Today we're playing another game of Company of Heroes, and we are playing the Stalingrad map. The only thing that's really different with this map is that we have the ice hexes, and if you hit a unit on an ice hex with AP, HE or flame damage, that unit is going to have, if it takes a hit, it's going to have to take a roll to see if it falls through the ice. So it can be pretty dangerous to move around on the ice in case you have enemies nearby. We're going to play as the Russians, and we are going to play with the Elite Artillery Tactics Commander. So we will get Recon Flight, Incendiary Artillery, Fear Propaganda, and Dispersion Shells. So not really a favorite commander of mine, I gotta say, but since we're gonna do them all, I just thought, well, I'll just grab one. So this is the one we're gonna start with. And we're gonna do the same we did in the last video, where we do a kind of top-down view, and then we get closer into the view at our maneuver and at our damage and supply phase, and the top-down view kind of thing is going to be at our maneuver phase. And that's what we're going to start with right now. We're going to get some units moving. The Germans are going to spawn one green unit over there in the back, because the German spawn are all the way in the back on the left side, and my spawn is over here on the right side. Alright, so let's start with the enemy spawn. So like I said, there's going to be a green unit, and we have the retreat point over here. Also, by the way, we have a different kind of camera setup this time. Last time I used a top-down camera from quite high up. Now I'm using a regular tripod, or actually two of them. One which is quite high, which is the one I'm using now. And then once I go to the damage and supply phase, we're going to have a tripod that's a little bit lower. So let me know what you think about this camera setup. Do you prefer the previous video, or do you like it this way? Please let me know. Okay, so I get to spawn two green units before we get going here. And with the Soviet, you have the choice between conscripts and mortar team. And I'm actually going to go ahead and start with two mortar teams, and you might wonder why. That is a strange thing to start with. You would normally use regular infantry. But the mortar team is so expensive. It costs 5 manpower, and the conscripts only cost 3. So it's going to hurt us if we want to get the mortar team later on. So that's why we start with them. So we're going to go ahead and place out two Russian mortar teams on the map. And we're going to go ahead and place them one over there and the other one right next to it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving my troops. So I am going to go ahead and move my first squad 1, 2, 3 points. By the way, my spawn on this map is from this hex all the way to the right. And then we have the enemy movement, or enemy's turn. So we draw, and a blue unit. We don't have a blue unit. We have a green unit, and this is for going towards the closest victory point. And the closest victory point, let's count some hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so both of them are 7 hexes away, but we go by reading order. And by reading order, this one is going to come before that one, since that one is higher up the map. So our green German unit is going to go ahead and move 3 hexes towards this one. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we should actually have a second green unit. So that's going to be there. My next move is going to be 1, 2, 3. Just moving towards those victory points. Maybe I should actually stop by the fuel, pick that up on my way. Might as well, I guess. Okay, and then we have the next turn for the enemy, and again we have a victory point. And again, we know this time where we're gonna go. It's gonna be the second green unit, since this one has already spent his CP. And this is going to be the victory point and move towards. And that is the end of the movement phase. All of the units available, including mine, have spent their maximum amount of CP. So we now go we will not have any damage phase since we're not in range. So we will go directly to the supply phase. Alright, so the only capturing that's going to happen during this turn is my mortar team capturing this fuel point. So we're going to go ahead and increase our fuel income by 1. And we will gain 1 manpower, 1 munition, and 2 fuel. And let's see, I think we want to build something. We definitely want to get a scout car. And the scout car, as you can see over here, is 2 manpower and 2 fuel points. So we're gonna go ahead and decrease our manpower down to 3 and our fuel down to 5. Sorry, that should go down to 4 actually. And that leaves us with 3 CP, and we're gonna go ahead and get a normal conscript squad for that, since that is gonna help us capture some points. And that's gonna be all our purchases for this round. Okay, so we'll go ahead and spawn our units, and we're gonna go ahead and put our scout car. It's gonna be over here with its speed die. And then the conscripts, which are really weak by the way, but they only cost 3 manpower. But we're gonna go ahead and spawn them over here, as we wanna use them and a scout car to go up there and capture those points. Because we're desperately gonna need reinforcements here soon, as you can imagine. Okay, so do we want to buy anything? We have a lot of munition. Nope, I will save my munition for now, and I will also decrease my manpower to 0 since I bought those conscripts. Okay, so we will move the marker for the AI commander. The AI commander is gonna get a yellow unit. Also, remember to always put that speed die on. I sometimes forget. And we are now in the second round. Okay, so let's see what I want to do. I will definitely get my mortar guys up here for 2 CP up to that victory point. And then here I'm gonna take these guys and load them into that scout car for 1 CP. And these guys are moving up for 1 whoops, with the 1 speed die that the armored truck have, or armored car I should say. Okay, and then it's the enemy's turn, and we have a yellow attack, so that is gonna move to an unrevealed yellow only. It's gonna go ahead and move closer to one of my guys, and I believe that he is gonna go ahead and attack towards a unit that is enemy closest to victory point. Or actually move to nearest enemy unit. So that is gonna be this one. So he's gonna first of all spend the speed die and then move 1, 2, 3 hexes. There we go. And then it's my turn again. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3 CP. 1, 2, 3, moving up there. So this CP is the CP that's used for the truck, and this CP is the CP which is used for my soldiers, but they cannot get in to a car and get out in the same round. And that leaves us with the enemy again. So the yellow one has been used up. So we have the green one, which is going to go ahead and move closer to a victory point. And it's going to be this one because it's always the one that is closest. So we use this 2 CP. And then we go to my guys again. And I think I only have the mortar guys left to move. But I think I kind of want to get them out of there because otherwise they're going to be in danger of being targeted. So let's see, I think I need to help out on this island once stuff starts to happen there. So 1, 2, 3. I'm really going to need to get some. I'm going to try to capture this one, I guess. The manpower point, because I'm going to have to get some conscripts or something just to deal with whatever is hiding under that yellow marker. If I'm really unlucky, that's going to be an enemy armored car. That would be really bad. Okay, and last card for the enemy. And then we have this one, which means that a green unit that is not on a control point is going to go ahead and move to the closest control point the AI does not control, and that is that one. So it spends 1 CP. Okay, so that is it. Again, we're not going to have any battle phase because there's no active battle phases, but a few points are going to be captured. We might as well capture them right away since there are several of them, and you'll get to see it. Let's see, we have 2 each actually. So I capture 1 victory point over here. The enemy captures another victory point. They capture a manpower point. And then finally, my guys over here capture also a manpower point. So we'll take back all our CP. You don't have to watch that. Alright, so I captured 1 manpower point, so I will increase my manpower income by 1. And then I managed to capture 2 victory points. Sorry, 1 victory point that is. So I will increase my victory income by 1. So we'll gain 2 manpower, 1 munition, 2 fuel, and finally 1 victory point. And remember, we need 10 victory points before the end of turn 8 or the end of turn 9, no, turn 8, to not lose. So we need to capture that 2nd victory point if we're going to have a chance. Okay, so I still don't have any power to buy any conscripts or anything, but I think I'm actually going to skip that. I'm going to unlock this one, the support campagne building, for 1 manpower with free fuel, because that is going to give me the option to get the snipers and the T-70 light guns, light tanks, which are quite good. So again, I need to decrease my manpower by 1 and my fuel by 3, so from 6 to 3. And that's it. So we're ready for the next turn. Alright, so we will move the enemy counter to the 3rd turn, and that means we're also going to spawn, according to the card, a blue enemy. So let's see what we want to do here. I am a little bit scared that is going to be some kind of pinning gun, like a machine gun or something. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move down my mortars down to this manpower point, spending 3 CP. I need more manpower desperately anyway. And then it's going to be the Germans' turn. And the first one they have is a defensive card, meaning that the closest one to empty building is going to take cover. Green defense, green unit closest to unoccupied building. You will prioritize reading order, move towards into the nearest unoccupied building. So for 2 CP, this unit here, or actually it is adjacent, so for 1 CP it's moving up here. There we go. And then the next one is the blue one, and you know that one, that is moving within 4 hexes of the nearest enemy. And the nearest enemy is going to be here. It's moving 1, 2, and they only have 2 more CP for that round, so that makes it my turn now. So I'm going to move with the truck or the car over here, spending its speed die. And then these guys are going out of the building, over here for 1 CP. And then it spends 2 more CP moving towards the munition point. And that makes it the Germans' turn again. So we have a yellow one which is going for a point. And let me read it. It's a yellow control point, yellow unit that is not on a neutral or play controlled point. Move towards the nearest control point the AI does not control. And that is going to be the victory point. So it's going to spend first its speed die, then 2 CP moving over here to the victory point. And that is also going to... No, it's not going to reveal it actually, because I am not 2 hexes away. Okay, so that is good for me. And then we still have 1 CP, and it's for a green unit that is not on a control point, which will go closer to a victory point that, let me see, move towards the nearest victory point, and it will prioritize AI controlled victory points for some reason. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, so it's gonna go 3, 4, 1. Yeah, it's gonna go towards that one. And I guess officially you could say that actually we can't do that move, since you cannot enter a building and leave a building in the same turn. So that is what I'm gonna rule it as. And then it's my turn again, and I have 3 more CP. And I am going to go ahead and move with the car up here, the scout car, into the munitions. And I'm a little bit unsure what to do with these mortar guys. I feel like if I don't retreat now, I'm probably going to have to pay a big price for it. So I think I might as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and retreat with them. And they're retreating back here for 2 CP. And then the enemy have their last turn. And they have a yellow one, which is only regarding, it's a flag with a health symbol, and it's only regarding damaged yellow units, and that one is not damaged. Then we have a green victory point 1, and both of them are at victory points, so they're not going to be able to do anything. And then we have the blue barrage, and he can spend 1 more victory point getting closer to my units, since he already have spent 2 CP this turn. And the Germans, just like me, they can spend a maximum of 3 CP per for every unit. So that is the end. So we're going to have some power changes here. First of all, the enemy has captured 1 more point. And unfortunately for me, it's a victory point. So that is not good. I need to do something about that. I capture, at least I capture this manpower point. And then on the right flank here, I managed to capture another victory point and a munitions point. And let's go ahead and reset these speed dice before I forget to do so. Let's take a closer look at our... there's not going to be any battles again because none of the units have range to each other. So quite an eventless first few rounds. So let's go ahead and take a closer look here because we are going to buy some units now. Alright, so we managed to capture 1 manpower point, 1 munition point, and then 1 victory point. However, we also lost 1 victory point control. So we go back down to 1. We gain 3 manpower, so we go up to 4. we gain 2 fuel, so we got to 8 now. And then we gain some munition, then we gain 2 fuel, so we go up to 5. And we gain 1 victory point. No experience yet, so you can see how you can always running, you know, these games, and it's not very often you get to the end unless you do some house rules somehow. Okay, so what do we want to buy for this? We have 4 manpower, and it's manpower that we don't have a lot of. We could get the conscripts, but there is a big chance that that yellow one is armored car or a machine gun, and then our conscripts aren't going to do us any good. So we're going to go ahead and get a T-70 light tank, which is a beautiful little tank, which has only 2 in health, but it can still cause some damage, and it's quite cheap as well. So for this one we will pay 3 manpower and 2 fuel. So we go back to 1 manpower and 3 fuel. And unfortunately we only have 1 more manpower, so there's not really something else we can buy. We could buy only the ability with the tank. Unfortunately the only ability is to make him capture, but if you do that, that also means he can't attack. So that is a really crappy ability, and that is permanent as well, so you can't like attack 1 round and then capture the next round. For our mortars, we could upgrade so that they have 1+ in health, but right now I don't see that as much needed. However, our conscripts back over here, we could give them some flamethrowers. It's quite expensive, but that could be good. I'm guessing maybe these guys would be good to upgrade, because there is a big chance, or a big risk I should say, that they will be targeted. Let's see, my conscripts over there. Okay, I will upgrade my conscripts, so it goes from 8 to 4, the munition that is. Because my conscripts, which I have over here back to capturing that victory point, they will gain a flame thrower. So that's really useful for this map, and since that can also melt ice and stuff. And that's gonna be it, I think. Yep, I'm not gonna do any more. I only have 1 manpower and I want to save my munition. So let's go to the next turn of the game. Alright, so here we go. Turn number 4, and there will be a yellow and a green enemy spawning. So we have quite a lot of enemies out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemies. So that can be troublesome. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and move up with our tank. So 1, 2. Let's see how we want to move this. 3. Because I want to have him over here. So in case some enemy goes to capture this point, they're not going to be able to shoot at me, and they would if I was standing over here. So I want to stand over here, spending 3 CP to get over there, and that means we're also going to get to reveal this unit now, and it is an armored car. So I am happy that I decided to get the tank instead of conscripts, because the armored car has a combat value which is quite high. It can actually do 3 anti-infantry damage, and it has 3 in health, so that is a quite unpleasant surprise if you're going at it with conscripts. And for our veteran armored car, we have a beautiful Mini, and remember, here we go, they will always face the nearest enemy, so it's facing the currently facing my tank over here. Alright, so then it's the enemy's turn, and first of all we have one of these capture point by the green ones, and it will always be the green unit which is closest to base, so it's gonna be that guy up there. And let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is gonna be the fuel over here is gonna be the closest. So 1, 2, 3, moves over there. And that is my turn again. And let's see what I want to do. I think I am going to go ahead and move up with the armored car, spending its speed die. And then 1 CP to get up to that point. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and take my infantry and start moving towards this location here, as I want to get back that victory point which I lost to the enemy. And it's the enemy's turn again, and they have the blue one. That is not good for me. It's very bad. It is going to move closer to my tank, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to move here for 1 CP. And then we have the green victory point. Let's see. And that is going to make a green unit move closer to a victory point. So it's going to be this one, and it's going to move closer to that one, since that one is closer in reading order, or it's in reading order compared to that one. Okay, so then I have last turn. And okay, so there are a few things I'm going to go ahead and do. Let's see my mortars. So the mortars for the Russians actually have one thing going for them, and that is their excellent range. So these guys actually have a range of 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm thinking that I might want to move them a little bit closer in case this is a mortar. So let's see, I don't want them to get into range with this one though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I could get them, these guys, 1 hex closer, so they could fire at that guy. That's good. And then we have our infantry back here, which are gonna keep moving towards that victory point. They are equipped with flamethrowers. And then I don't want to move anything else, so I'm just going to let it be like that and draw a card for the Germans. Again, we have a green one which tells us to move closer to a victory point, so this guy does. And then we have a yellow attack, and that's only for unrevealed yellow units. However, the Germans do have one who is up there. So he's spending, first of all, 1 speed die. Yellow ones always have speed dies, and then 2 CP, moving closer to the closest enemy unit, which is going to be that guy. And that is the end. We're going to remove this deck now, since next turn we're going to have the phase 2 deck. So this is removed from the game. And this time we're actually going to have, for the first time of our game now here in turn 4, we're going to have a damage phase. And the deal with the blue units is that if a blue unit is within 4 hexes still during the damage phase, that's when you reveal them. So we're going to do that now. And look at that, that is a mortar team. So it's a mortar team with 4 in range. And it consists of 3 soldiers. So we go ahead and place a mini out on the mortar team. So let's go down a little bit closer now and watch the combat. Alright, so here we have it. This guy, who only has anti-infantry, he can't actually fire at anyone because he only has range to this guy, and he is immune to anti-infantry fire. However, we have the German mortar team back here on our left side, which has 1 HE fire, and he has a range of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is going to go ahead and attack with 1 HE, and that is my tank. Then I have this mortar guy, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away from this mortar unit. And here we have a special rule, and this is only for the solo play, and that is, in the solo play you can target other mortars with if you are in range, even if you don't have if you're in range but if you don't have sight. So I don't have line of sight to this guy, obviously, because this guy can only see 2 hexes away. But in the solo game, again, you can target even if you don't have line of sight, as long as you have the range. So this mortar unit is putting 1 HE on that mortar unit. And then we have another mortar unit here. And he's going to go ahead and put an HE on the Veteran 2-2 armored car. And our own tank is, of course, going to put a tank damage. And the tank also has an infantry damage. So we're going to go ahead and use that too. Since this is a yellow unit, a light vehicle, if we're lucky, that can actually make some damage. Okay, so let's start by rolling for our heavy vehicle first, because I'm nervous. I don't want to lose him. And we're going to go ahead and roll first because it's on a high explosive. We want to see what damage it will do. We get a green one, so that means it's a critical hit, and that is 2 hits. However, since I have a heavy armored unit which have resistance, I will get to roll defensive dice against those hits. And unfortunately, one of the hits are they do hit. Very unfortunate, but that happens, okay? So I take 1 hit, I can only take 1 more, and then I will lose them. So I need to get some conscripts over there to repair that guy. Okay, so then we have the mortar team back there. So let's take their HE and see how much damage it does. It also does 2 damage, but these guys, they don't have any kind of defense. So they actually, they lose 2 soldiers. So that squad only has 2 guys remaining. And as you know, you gain 1 experience for your first damage in each turn. Okay, so what do we have more? Okay, so we have this guy. This is going to be fun. The armored car. And the armored car can take a total of 3 damage. So, of course, we hope to do that much damage now. This anti-tank or armor piercing, he can't block, so he has taken 1 damage already from that. Then we have the HE damage from our mortar. So we're going to roll that to see how many points. And I can't see what I got. Okay, a black one. A black one means 1 damage. So let's see, do they have... I actually forgot if they have... Yes, they have the ability to protect themselves. So we will see if he successfully does. He does, unfortunately. Next attack is anti-infantry. And he will also get a defensive roll against that. Okay, we'll re-roll that. And he fails. So he takes 1 more damage. Very good news for me. But of course, I wish that he would have taken a little bit more damage. But that is the way it goes sometimes. So that is going to be the end of this battle phase. And we're going to go now to our resource phase. Or supply phase. Okay, so we have captured with our scout car. We managed to capture 1 more manpower point. So that's good because we really need more manpower. And we increase our income by 1. So we're now at the maximum income for manpower, which is 4. So we gain 4 manpower, we go from 1 to 5. 2 munition, we go from 4 to 6. 2 fuel, we go from 3 to 5. And only 1 victory point. We're gonna go ahead and buy with our experience point we gained. We're gonna go ahead and buy an upgrade for this mortar. This mortar is gonna go ahead and get HE upgrades. So next time it will do 2 HE damage. And then I'm also buying for free munition. I am buying a 4th squad soldier there, so it's gonna be a little bit safer in case he gets attacked by something. We also have some conscripts that I want to spawn, so we will buy them for free manpower, and we go from 5 down to 2. And our conscripts, because they have this bonus ability, they are going to be able to repair our tank because we really don't want to lose that. And I think that is all that we're gonna buy for this turn. So let's go back, or let's go to the next turn. Alright, so we are now in phase 2, which means the enemy is gonna have 4 CP each turn instead of 3 during the maneuver phase, and then we have a new deck. So the first thing we're gonna spawn is 1 green and 1 blue unit. So there is, I've never seen this many unrevealed German units. So that is quite, well, that's worrying, you know, since you don't know what they are, obviously. So let's see what I want to move. I need to deal with this guy. And then we have a bunch of infantry over there. So it's not really an easy choice. I'm thinking that perhaps I want to go inside of this building with these guys. But I think yeah, because if they attack, but usually the green guys don't attack. Maybe my scout car should go down there and put some fire on them, because the scout car is a light vehicle, so it can't be pinned. So even if they're machine guns, it's gonna be okay. The problem is that the scout car can't take a good route because there is the bridge in the way. It has to go kind of this way. But I think that is the first thing I'm going to do, because then I can save my CP. And oh, we have the conscripts. Okay, I'm going to move the conscripts a little bit closer. Let's see what I want to move them. Okay, that is actually something I'm going to wait for also, because if these guys get closer, they might suppress those conscripts, and I can't afford that. So this guy is moving down here with his speed die. Then he's spending 1, 2, 3 CP moving down there. Okay, and then it's the enemy's turn. And first of all, they have a red unit, but they don't have 1. And then they have the control point 1, which is green unit not on a control point. Move towards the nearest victory control point, and you will always prioritize AI controlled victory points for some reason. I'm guessing they're like defensive units. So the closest one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be this one again. So this one is moving 1, 2, 3. A lot of green units. And that is the enemy's turn. Oh, we actually have 1 CP left. And that's gonna be, the blue one is already within. So I'm guessing that is gonna be the yellow unit over here, which is gonna move closer to an uncaptured uncaptured hex. So we have an incoming yellow unit now. That could be a 80 gun. So that's not really good news. We'll see what happens there. We have some more CP to spend. I'm still gonna wait with this guy, because again, I don't know what is coming over there. These guys, let's see what I want to do with them. Oh. Okay, so I'm moving them into this building over here. Whoops. They fell down. And they spend 1 CP moving into the building. Let's see, where's the flamethrower? There we go. And then I'm just gonna stay put, I guess. Okay, so I might want to turn my vehicle, as I will have the anti-infantry gun, which on this one, which cannot be turned around. I have the turret, which can be turned around. Maybe it can't be on this mini. Kind of looks like it can't. Yep, it can actually be. So I can still fire at the armored car with my armor piercing damage. But in case there's a 80 gun or something, I want to have my machine gun pointing at the right enemy. So I can use that to hopefully kill him off. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm still going to be able to target him with both mortar squads. That's really good. The problem is he's still going to get his shot. But I also have my frontal armor there, so that's good. Okay, so next round, green one, go to the closest unit or closest victory point, which is not captured. And you will choose the one closest to base, which is going to be that one. So he's spending 2 CP moving over there. And then we have the blue one, he's already within 4. And then we have a yellow one, which is actually attack. And it's attacking, move towards the nearest, that's the wrong one. Move towards the nearest enemy unit. So he's moving 1 here, spending 1 CP. And then he's revealed. And it's another armored car. Okay, good thing I stayed behind. And then actually their action ends there, because this is only for unrevealed yellow units. So since he's now revealed, he's not going to do anything. Okay, so that is a bit problematic, but I think we can still do this. And I'll show you how just right now, because I have 3 CP remaining. So let's see, I'm going to move the tank. I'm going to stay with my tank. And I'm moving. Okay. I'm reversing with the tank for 1 CP. And then I am moving with my infantry, with my conscripts, for 2 CP. So the only thing that is in range now, that is this guy, and he can't take any damage from them. And the mortars, they're too far away, but I am not, so I can still take care of those nasty mortars. So that's great. Okay, so that is going to be the end. I don't believe anyone captured anything. Many of them were close, but nothing of that sort really happened. Okay, so let's go to our battle phase, because we have some battle to resolve now. So let's go ahead and put out this armored car. I'm really worried actually if I can win or not. We have okay, so after this turn, I'm gonna get 1 VP for this turn. So I'm gonna have 4 VP. And after this turn, we have 3 more turns. And I'm gonna need 6 VP. So if I don't capture at least 1 victory point next turn and hold these turns until the end of the game, I am going to lose. So we'll see how it works out. I haven't lost any units, but I have been kind of avoiding the enemies. You can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4 unrevealed green units. So trouble is heading my way. Anyway, let's get to the fighting. So first of all, my tank unit is going to assign a armor piercing shot to this guy, and he's going to be dead obviously. And then my mortar unit over here, who's actually too far away to fire at that unit. I actually thought he was within his rights to fire, but he is not. So these guys are gonna fire, and they have 1 extra HE. So these guys are being hit by 2 HE. So first of all, this guy, we don't have to roll. He's gonna be taken out. And his firing can't affect my unit, since it's anti-infantry fire, and it's a heavy vehicle. So I will gain, first of all, 1 experience for being the first damage of the turn, and then 1 experience for taking out a unit. And that is then going to be the end of it, because these guys, let's see, I don't have sight to this guy. Otherwise I could have attacked him, but I can't actually see him. So that is part of the problem. I can't see the mortar over there, and we haven't actually seeing what happens. So with the HE we have to roll to see what kind of damage it does. If both of these are red now, I don't do any damage. So both of them are black, so 1 damage each. So that takes care of that mortar unit. He's down, and that will give us 1 more experience. We actually have 3 experience now, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can do something nice with that. And that is going to be the end of the damage phase. We go now back to the supply phase. Alright, so I will gain 4 manpower, 2 munition, 2 fuel, and 1 victory point. Okay, so I definitely want to buy something. I need to buy something, otherwise I'm going to be in quite big trouble here. Let's see. For 5 fuel I could get this one, but everything just takes so long time to get to the front, so it's barely gonna be worth it. Let's see, could I even afford? Nope, I couldn't even afford the T-34, so I don't think that is a really good option. It's better to get some, I guess some of those T-70 light tanks. Okay, so I'll get another T-70. Let's see where we have those guys. And that is just going to cost me 3 manpower and 2 in fuel. So let's see. 3 manpower, we go from 6 to 3, and 2 in fuel. And I guess, what do I want to get for my second? Okay, I think I might want to get another conscript squad. But I'm not sure. Perhaps I should get the 80 gun. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get one more of these little tanks, and I really hope that, because there's no more yellow enemies, so if I'm really unlucky, there's gonna be a bunch of those Panzer Grenadiers, and they are gonna wreak havoc on my small tanks, but hopefully they aren't. Let's see, I have to pay 3 manpower and 2 fuel. So, but I mean, I can take care of the victory points while these guys are battling anyway. Okay, so this guy has 1 damage to him, but I'm removing that because this conscript squad is repairing him. Okay, so let's go to the next turn. And before we go all the way up, I want to purchase an upgrade for one of my tanks. I am going to purchase for 1 experience point. I'm going to purchase a sight plus of 2. So that is a really powerful upgrade, I gotta say. So he will be able to see for, instead of just 2 hexes, he will be able to see for 4 hexes. So that is double the sight range. Alright, so let's see our first move. I am gonna go ahead and approach these guys with this tank. That is 1 CP spent, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will see what these guys are, and they are a veteran MG42 team. Of course, I ignore their pin action, reveal action, since I'm in a armored unit. They will face the closest enemy unit, and that is this conscript squad. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will move 1 more hex and spot this one. And it's also an MG42 squad, so there's 2 MG42 squads there. However, that is not a veteran squad, so it doesn't get the defensive die. And that's the thing with these Germans, they really love their MGs, so they're not good to engage with normal infantry. You really gotta use armored cars or heavy vehicles or ranged infantry. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and move up 1 with this mortar squad, and then it's the enemy's turn. And I see that I forgot to move this one up one step. So we should spawn a red unit on the enemy base. And the cards tell us that it's an attack. And it's an attack by the red assault. Unrevealed red unit move towards the nearest enemy unit. So who is going to be the nearest enemy unit? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it should be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it should be this one. So he's moving closer. And he can only move 2 hexes since this green one is in the way. The next one is an unrevealed yellow one, but we don't have one. The next one after that is a blue one. And he's also going to move closer to that one. But again, he's kind of locked in because he can only move 2 CP. And, well, there's no way for him to get there. So we're going to skip that also and go instead to the green one. And the green one is a green control point. So the closest green unit to the base is going to move towards a near control point the AI does not control or have units on. And I also see I forgot to put a little red flag on this one. So the closest control point, that is going to be that control point. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's also revealing himself. And those are Panzer Grenadiers. That's okay, they can't damage my vehicles. So we go ahead and put some minis out on them. And yeah, that is the end of the enemy turn. So it's our turn again. And we're going to go ahead and move up here now with the mortar. Or should I wait a little bit perhaps? Okay, I'm moving up one step. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm moving with my infantry squad inside of this heavy fortification. That's a bunker that has a health of 10 instead of the normal 4. And then we have the enemy again. So we have a red one which will move closer to a victory point. And if I remember correctly, you will learn these automatically then after a while, I guess. Red unit not victory point. Move towards the nearest victory point. Priority is reading order, so that should be that one. He only has 1 CP left to spend, so he's moving here. And then we have a green one, which will move closer to a victory point. And they will move towards closest base reading order. They will move closer to AI controlled one. And it's going to be this squad actually. And they will spend their last CP. Move it closer to this one because you will go by reading order. So this will be this one. And then we have a blue again. So that's going to be spending the last, or actually 1 CP since it's blocked. And then a yellow one, but we don't have a yellow unit. So that is the end of their turn. We have one more move to do. And we're going to move up 1, 2 to the victory point. And yeah, I am gonna go ahead and get my tank in here so he can start doing some damage to these guys. And the enemy red one is gonna go ahead. It's used yellow one. We have no yellow one. Well, actually we have this yellow one. So what was the last card? Okay, don't matter. He's gonna go anyway to a point. It's gonna be this point. So he moves over there, spending 1. He's spending his speed die. And then we have the blue one. That is gonna spend 2 CP. And that's dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's now within range of my my tank. So he can blow him maybe out of the way. That's not good. And then we have a green one move closer to a victory point. And let's see, we have a squad up there. So move 1, 2, 3. So he's actually going to move closer to 1, 2. And he gets revealed by this 3. And it's a grenadier squad. So there is, wow, they're amassing here in the middle of the map. Luckily there's still no anti-tank. So let's put a mini out. And yeah, I have 4 spotting radio, so I will actually see this. And it's an event. Ooh, Blitzkrieg. Okay, so this guy wasn't there when that happened. I should have spotted him as he moved within range. And the Blitzkrieg is actually, I think they move closer to the victory points. Yes, that's correct. All AI within 4 hexes will move 1 hex towards the nearest victory point without spending any CP. So this guy is moving over here, and this guy is, the red one is moving over here, and the grenadiers are moving over there. And then the grenadiers moved for, instead of 3, they're moved with 2 CP over here. And that also means we should reveal this tank now, as it's become within sight of this guy. And it's a Panzer 4. That is the first time we get a Panzer 4 in my playthrough videos. Let's see if we can fit that. Okay, kinda. Okay, so we have a Panzer 4, and that is the end of the turn. And we are gonna have some battling to do actually, but I think I'm pretty much safe since that Panzer 4 can't reach me. We have quite a battle on our hands here. Let's see which unit we really want to take care of first. I have a bunch of mortars and they're all within range to fire, so that is really cool. I wish I had gotten my other tanks closer, but you have limited CP. Let's get rid of all these. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so the question here is, who do we really want to get rid of? We could just overkill it, and all of my units could target this guy, because I mean, if he have the possibility to get quite close up and take care of my units. We cannot reach the tank with any of our mortars, so we're just gonna ignore that one. So I guess we're gonna go all out on this guy. He's really annoying. Okay, so we have 2 mortar squads. One of them is upgraded with an extra HE thingy. 1 extra HE damage. And then we have the tank. And the tank has 1 armor piercing shot. And then he has a machine gun with anti-infantry damage. And yeah, my other guys unfortunately are not within range. So that is the only fight that's going to happen. All of these guys, they only have anti-infantry damage, and my heavy armor are, I mean, they're immune to that, so it's not going to bother me. Let's see this Panzer 4. He does 2 anti-tank, so he's going to kill these guys with 1 shot. So I better think up of some kind of plan. Anyway, let's see what happens. So first of all, let's take care of this guy. So the tank always hits because he's light vehicle. And then we are gonna roll to see how many hits the high explosive or how much damage they do. Okay, so we have 1 negative, 2 good ones, so that is 0 and 2, 2, so 4. And then we have anti-infantry, and it does also, no, it should be red, I guess. No, it does damage. Nope, it does not. Okay, on the red one it does damage. So that is 4 damage totally, and he will get to roll 4 defense dice for this. Since he has the, let's see, he has the light vehicle, I think. Yes, that's correct. You can see that on the building matrix of card 3. So let's roll some defense die, and we have 1 hit. And for that hit, now, only on this map, we have a special defense matrix, which you will find on the back side of the map book. And it is the ice hex. So we did this kind of damage to a yellow unit. So we're gonna roll 1 defense dice, and if that one fails, the tank or the armored car goes underwater, under the ice. And unfortunately it doesn't, so that guy is still alive. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. And that is the end of it, because they're not going to be able to fire back. So we are now going to go to the resupply phase. Alright, so we haven't captured anything, or actually we have. We have captured the victory point over here with our mortar squad. And that is hopefully going to save us. We have 3 more turns, counting this one. So our victory points income go from 1 to 2. So manpower, we gain 4 manpower. And munitions, we gain 2. We gain 2 fuel. And we gain 2 victory points. And we now have 6 victory points. We need 4 more. Okay, let's see what we want to buy. We want to buy this armor campagna, I guess. Next round, we will be able to buy T-34. It's not going to have, that is the problem. It's not going to have time, because there is 2 more turns after this. So it's not going to have time to reach that Panzer IV. So ultimately, I've just wasted 5 fuel and 2 manpower. See, how many manpower is the T-34? It's only 2, no, it's only 2 manpower, so that's not very expensive. Because I'm thinking otherwise I could get the 80 gun and try to rush that to the front, because it has a range of 3. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the 80 gun for 4 manpower. Okay, so the 80 gun is going to go ahead and spawn here. Then we actually did forget something. First of all, we should have gotten 1 experience point for the damage that we did on the armored car. And then we forgot something else, and I am going to go ahead, because it's a solo game. If you're playing against other people, that is not nice to do. But if I play solo, I let myself do it. And what I forgot to do, because I was so fighting with this, I forgot to fire with my mortars. I was too focused on that approaching Panzer IV over there among the ruins. So I will use those. And no, actually I did. I fired on the armored cars. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so doesn't matter what I said. I missed, and that is it. Okay, so let's go to the next turn. Alright, so for the next turn, we have a new spawn, and it's the color green. So we place that over here. Okay, so let's see what we want to move. We need to move some stuff around, because we're gonna have trouble coming our way with that tank. So we definitely want to get our 80 gun in place, but we have to be careful not to get too close to the machine guns. 1, 2, 3. So we're moving over here. Let's see. Okay, I want to move that direction instead, because that way I can face it the right way. So first I'm going to move these guys 1, 2. And then I'm moving with my 80 over here. And we have the enemy turn. So we have a red assault, but the red assault is not going to happen because it's only for unrevealed red units. Then we have a green control point. So it's going to be the closest to the base unit, which is going to be that one right there. And he's going to move towards, I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so it should be this one, because you prioritize victory points. So he's moving for free CP. 1, 2, 3. And Then we have the blue, but we don't have a blue unit. A yellow one, but we have this yellow unit, but it's only for unrevealed yellow units. So it's going to be the end of their turn. So I have 3 CP to spend again. And I want to move my 80 up here. And then it's going here and turning that direction automatically by moving there. 1 more CP to spend. Think I want to move up this tank. And it's the enemy's turn. So we have a green victory point. And the green victory point will... Let's see here. Green unit not on a control point or... not on a control point. Move towards the nearest victory point. And it will prioritize AI-controlled victory points. So all of these green units, because this one spent 3 CP, they're all next to one, so they're not going to move. And then we have a blue one, but we don't have a blue unit. We have a red unit, but it's only for unrevealed red units. And the same goes for the yellow, but we don't have that one. So the axes are actually going to... one turn there, they don't spend 1 single CP. That's the first time that happens for me. Let's see what we want to do then. We want to move up with this guy, facing that direction. And then we want to, let's see, can we get him somehow into a firing position? I don't think so. I only have 2 CP left. Nope, I can't, but I can get him closer. And that's good for next turn. And then I have my scout car over here, who is going to move like so, spending his speed die. And that's the end of movement. So again, we're going to have some battling. And again, it's going to be one-sided because they don't have anything. Ooh, they have something here. Man, I didn't see the Panzer Grenadiers when I moved in with my 80 gun, so that was stupid. Since they actually do 2 damage. So that is not good, since my 80 gun is considered infantry, it is going to take hits. Okay, so that was a bad idea, but stuff like that happens. Let's go to the battle. Okay, so let's see what happens. See if I can fix the turret. There we go. Yeah, we should remove all of this. I sometimes forget. Usually it's because it's getting closer to the end of the game and I'm getting nervous. There we go. Okay, so these 2 infantrymen, these 5 Panzer Grenadiers, they will fire at these guys and I will lose 2 of them. So that's pretty bad. That's a lot of casualties. And then I will fight back. So this tank is going to take that tank down. It will fire with its armor piercing and it only has 1 health left. The armored car is out of action. And for that, I will gain 2 experience points. I will then try to take care of this machine gun over here. I will fire with this guy who has 1 anti-infantry and 1 anti-tank on this guy. And they have a defense die, so that is bad. And this guy is firing with anti-tank, 2 of them. And he's gonna go ahead and fire on these machine gunners. Then I have these mortars and these mortars. 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this mortar unit is firing 1 HE at them. There we go. And then we have 2 more HE from this guy. And the question is who we want to target with that. That should be tanks, by the way. Okay, so we have 2 more HE, and I think we want to go with infantry. And one thing to note, that infantry, they will never, even though they take any kind of damage, they will not go through the ice. Okay, so I think this is the way we want to play it. Let's see, there's a lot of forces on the map now. So let's see if we can fit our dice tower on the map. Somewhere here. Okay, so let's start by rolling for these. They will roll both for defense, so there is one hit on them. That is cool. Okay, we have one hit. And then we have an HE here. Let's see what damage it does. It does 1. So we have one more hit. And for next one, we have 2 HE. So that is 1 crit, 1 critical, and 1 normal. So that is a total of 3 damage. Then we have this armor piercing, and the armor piercing also hits. So we have a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And he only has 1 defense die. So that is not going to be enough to absorb all of this damage. So this guy is actually taken care of. And by doing so, we will gain 1 experience point. And I don't think anyone else can fire. I don't see anyone in range. So that should be the end of it. And that means we go now to our supply phase. Okay, so we gain 4 manpower, 2 munition, 2 fuel, and 2 victory points. So we need 2 more victory points. So if we can keep our victory point control, we will win this. And we have 6 experience here. So we're gonna go ahead and buy the elite artillery tactics. We're gonna buy the incendiary artillery. We are gonna go ahead and buy the fear propaganda. And you will remove these since the cost of it is 2 experience each. So now we can use the fear propaganda if we get infantry coming on to the victory point. So that is really good. We can't deal with the tank just yet, but we can deal with the infantry, and that infantry coming close to that victory point is not gonna get on the victory point, I can tell you. Okay, so let's go to the last phase, I guess. Do I want to build something? I have 4 manpower and quite a lot of fuel. Let's see, what can I get with that? I feel like I have... Okay, I can get a scout car. Not sure what I was... Okay, I could get a scout car because that could possibly aid my AT gun. So the scout car is 2 munition and 2 fuel, and has a speed die. That's what I love with the light vehicles. Makes them very useful. So we'll spawn that right here, and we're gonna go to the next turn. Alright, so we're at the last turn of the game. We move the counter to the last one, and it's gonna be a yellow enemy spawning at the enemy base. And I don't think we can lose this, but we're really winning in the last moment here. So let's see what we want to do. I could simply just block the victory points, I guess, but that would be a little bit chicken. So that 80 gun is going to be doing bad stuff to me. I think I'm gonna do the fear propaganda to get those guys away. Unfortunately, I have the problem with that. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I have 9 munition, and I will buy... You could only do it in the supply phase, but we haven't actually started moving yet, so I'll say we're still in the supply phase. I'm gonna buy for 2 munition. I'm gonna buy an upgrade for this guy, and the upgrade I'm gonna buy is that he's gonna be able to capture, but he's not gonna be able to fire. So therefore, he gets this die. And that upgrade costs 2 munition, and that is gonna be the only upgrade I get. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move him in to that supply point for 2 CP. And then I'm moving with this guy for 1 CP. And it's the enemy's turn. And I have a red one move closer to an enemy victory point. So he's actually as close as he can get. So he's not going to move at all. He's 2 X's away next to it. He can't get any closer. He could move down here, I guess. Okay, so let's say that he moves all the way down here to get closer to that victory point. And he will spend 3 CP doing so. Then we have a yellow one, which is moved closer to a point that the AI don't control. And he's going to move closer to this point, which is the closest one. So, spending his speed die and then spending 1 CP. Then it's my turn again. And... okay, so I want to get behind this tank. So I'm going to move with this guy. 1, 2. And then turn to his rear. Or actually, I'm going to be turning this way. So that way I can actually fire with the machine gun on the infantry. But at this guy with my, what's it called? Turret, whatever you call that. And we have a blue one, but I don't think we have a blue unit. And a green one, which is moved towards to victory point. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's going to move closer to this one. And now it's within range of my guys up here. And we have a reveal action now, which is roll 1, or actually it's kill 1 infantry, but they have defense. So okay, I'm going to re-roll that. Okay, so they miss. It needs to be red. And that is the end of their turn. And let's go ahead and put the mini out. Those are Panzer Grenadiers, so they have 2 anti-tank damage. And they are veterans, so they also have one of these defense dice. Okay, so... okay, I spent my CP moving that. I should have spent the enemy CP. And let's see what card that was. Okay, the red one couldn't act. A little bit confused on if I actually drew a card or not. Okay, let's draw another one then. Okay, green unit closer to victory point. So this guy moves up closer. And then red unit closer to victory point, but he's already at. Yellow unit moving. And that is the last CP for the enemy this turn. And then I have 3 CP. I don't know what happened with this one. Anyway, gonna go ahead and move back with these guys. So I can fire on those. And let's see here what I want to do. These guys could get into position. Okay, these guys are getting 1 closer with the speed die and then 1 closer again with spending CP. And then these guys are, see, they're moving back by 1. Okay, and then it's the enemy's last turn. Red attack, unrevealed, unrelieved. They're both of them are, or actually this one is. So he is going to move closer. So he's moving here, and then we reveal him, and it's an armored car. So put that there. We have actually run out of these to put vehicles on. And then we have blue, but we don't have a blue unit. And a green one, which is moved closest or closer to an uncaptured flag. So I'm going to move these guys, and they want to get to... let's see, they want to get to this flag. They actually want to get to this one, but there's a tank there, so they want to get to that one. So they move 1, 2. And that is going to be the end of it. And I can tell you now that I have won. But we can play out the battle just for fun. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so we have quite a lot of fights here. Let's start with the enemy. They are going to do quite a lot of damage here. Let's start with the tank. The infantry here, they aren't going to be able to do anything. Or actually this infantry squad will fire at my armored car here with 1 die. These guys, they do not have range. But this tank will fire at this infantry squad with an infantry attack from his machine gun. And then it will also fire an AT attack against this tank. And it has quite good power. It will fire with 2. And then these guys are going to go ahead and attack. Panzer Grenadiers. They will fire 2 shots at this bunker. The armored car will also fire 2 shots, anti-infantry, at the guys in the bunker. And then the veteran Panzer Grenadiers, they will fire 2 AT at the bunker. But here's the thing, there's actually something I can do now. And that is actually for the first time use one of my commander abilities. So I could go ahead and use this one, the Fear Propaganda. See if I can get the card up, I can show you. And the Fear Propaganda, target a visible hex and all adjacent hexes. Roll a die for each hex. Non-red symbols cause an immediate retreat. Infantry only. So that would be pretty cool. Because then those infantry would be... I mean, they couldn't do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. Paying 3 munitions, so I'm down to 4. And I only need to roll 1d10 or a die. And it's red, unfortunately, so he doesn't retreat. So let's try that guy again. I spent 3 more munition on my Fear Propaganda. And it's black, so he's retreating now. And he will retreat 1, 2, 3 hexes. And that removes 2 of the damage. I should have used it on him instead, because that guy had anti-infantry damage. Anyway, let's roll and see what happens. So they all get to try to defend themselves against these hits. And there is 2 red ones. So my infantry take 2 hits, but they're still alive. That is the important part. Then we have some more stuff going on here. First of all, this tank is blown up. Whoops. By that Panzer IV. He doesn't stand a chance. And then let's see, there's some more stuff happening. This guy also gets killed, again by the Panzer IV, who takes him out with the machine gun. And then we have this infantry squad, which will try to attack my armored car. So let's roll and see if his attack is successful. It needs to be a red icon. And it's not, so my armored car do not take any damage. And I don't know where my tank was standing, if he had his frontal armor against him, but I don't think so. But if he had, I would roll 2 dice, and only the red ones would hurt me. So it would only be 1 damage, and he would actually survive. And that is in case he was facing the tank, but I think he was kind of facing 4, but I can't remember. Then this tank is firing at him, and that is going to be 1 damage, because you can't defend against attacks to your rear and the sides. And let's see, his machine gun Takes down one of the MGs. And then I have mortars. 2 mortars, which is going to roll 3 HE attacks. And they only do 2 damage. It's 1 critical hit and 1 miss. So they will do 2 attack on these guys. And my infantry will do 1 attack. So they have 3 points of health left. And of course I do gain 1 experience, but it doesn't really matter. And I think that is it. I don't think I have anyone else. Okay, I can attack with the armored car. The armored car can remove 1 of these if I didn't already do that, because it has 1 anti-infantry attack. And that is the end of the battle phase. We go now to our last supply phase. Okay, so it's the last turn. And as you can see up here, I have my tank up here on the capture point with my capture ability. Because I upgraded that tank, so he can't shoot, but he can capture. So I actually captured the 3rd and the last victory point. So let's put that there, and that is actually also a fuel point. So we will increase my income for both my fuel and my victory points. So I gain 4 manpower, 2 munition, 3 fuel, and 3 victory points. So I don't know if I had 8 or 9, but I should have now 11 or 12 victory points. So that is definitely a victory. I need 10 victory points to win. And the next step we would do now would be moving this over here. And that star says defeat. So that is really in the last moment that we have won. Well, that was quite a battle. Not as easy as last time. My phone is sending me notifications that I have 1% battery left, so I'm trying to wrap this one up. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my videos because to my channel, there are more Company of Heroes videos coming soon. And I'm going to play with all of the commanders. Okay, guys, so see you next time. Thanks for watching.